That's just everything like that here, I believe. When I see this, I see the Prosecco. I just imagine myself talking about the history and drinking Prosecco in my hand. People just sitting down, just enjoying the experience. And these are the plants we use for the Prosecco for the brut as well. And a small plot there. And in the back side of the ruins, there's another bigger plot. There's another 2 hectares in the back there, where we always have Prosecco.
So, why did you drove up? You want to make him walk or what?
I knew you're up here, so I said we'll go walk up there. So that way you can see all the vineyards too as well, and see all the Prosecco and everything. So
this is the best property of the Treviso area, without no doubts. The most history, it belonged to the Colalto family for 1200 years, and we bought it from Gasparini Loredan. They were having some difficulty, and we were ready and willing to buy. So we were very fortunate. We have the 2 best property. This one we got it from Gasparini Loredan, and the next one we bought it from Ruggeri. You probably know Ruggeri now sold, but that's Area Valentina. So we go all the way around the hills, and we are. In the old days, this property was Sarafini Vidotto. They used to farm it for the Colalto, and that's how they started from here. And that's where we produce our top wine, my favorite one, Umberto Primo, and also great Prosecco. We got everything here: olive trees, chestnut trees. We got bees with the honey. It's basically farming in nature, in harmony with nature. You see, we left everything the way it is. We clean up, and most of our property. You drove up to the
the
Maria Vittoria. You saw there, like we left everything. We planting. You showing the resistant clone.
Yeah, I thought explained about the resistant clone before.
Like we strongly believe on the resistant clone, so you don't have to spray. This year we planted another 25 hectares, Merlot and Cabernet. And here in the Abbazia we have a partial, we planted Sauvignon Blanc, aromatic. And then in the Tenuta Maria Vittoria we planted there also a different clone, different type, still Sauvignon Blanc. I think within the next 10 years you will not see vineyard planted if there are no resistant clone. I believe, if it's up to me, I will. That's the only thing I will allow. As you can see here, this was the old Roman castle. You can see the foundation. This was much bigger. The abbey was built in the 854. Prior to that, now that we dug, before it was a legend, that maybe it was a castle, maybe not. When we started digging and restoring it, we found out all the foundation of the castle that was here before the abbey. So we go back 2,000 years, we go back to the Roman time. Here was a turret right here. The wall used to come and then cut across, and you can see it. When you go inside, you can see the wall, and the wall continue right under the abbey. And then again, it come across under the abbey. Come, I show you what. This has been a challenge. This was harder than making wine. Dealing with Belle Arti and the archaeologists, and it was not an easy task. It doesn't matter how much money you donate. It's money means nothing.
Yeah.
still see this wall here underneath, going across, and also it cut across. If you continue, it cut across way down there. After I show you where they come out. So basically here, we redone the tower, which was the entrance. We are lowering the road because 2 meters down we found all the cobblestone, which over the years they were buried, and so we insisted to go back to the original ground, and they allowed me to do the tower exactly how it was without the roof. They had a pavilion style roof, and you see the wall. Like, I'm a builder myself, so it's been like a little kids coming here, because you can see all the footprint, how it was built from the rocks, right? You can see there are signs everywhere how it was done, so it was easy to copy. See, those stones underneath there, that one and the one there and this one here, they were the original stone going back who knows how many centuries. So we knew exactly where the door was, right? And then we had a lot of design sketches done in ink from the 1400, so we knew. And then you find, you know, basically you can read the way it was done. Here, when we started out, this was all buried because they put all the dirt, and I guess when they level off, they basically bury everything. The only thing that was exposed, there was the little corner there. That's why I knew the tower. Then we clean up, we found the rest of the foundation. There's one, we have another floor below here. They didn't allow me to do a stair, but I can use it for a small cantina. For special bar or for special guests. And so from here, basically we went around and found the foundation, then you come up from the original foundation. One of the things on this one here is when we start cleaning and taking all the dirt out, which we work pail by pail, see, this is all original up to here. And Belle Arti, I asked them to do it in stone. They say no, they want it done in cement so they can distinguish the old and the new. This room, I didn't know that it existed because it was all buried. And here you can see there was a ramp going up. That was they used to go in, right? And I think this was an important room because you see the way they had they used to lock it with timber, right? You can see there, you know, they used to pour the timber in, then down it goes, right? So here, now, here's going to be a catwalk after the goes that way down there. But here you can see we leave the sign, we use LED. You can see the original wall, right? And this is a stone that they carved, right? You see the stone goes all the way down. Basically, they carve it to make the room. I think there was a little passage that they used to pass from the stuff from the next floor. So when we clean it up, then everything was here, right? We fix up some of the window, but even here, you can still see the old bricks from the old days, right? Like the first 30-40 centimeters. So it was very simple to reconstruct everything, you know what I mean? And this is the archaeology part. That's where the monkey used to eat. There was a floor, it was very low, and they used to, all their belonging was in one of those little cells, so they didn't have very much.
Is this where the wine tasting rooms would be, or should it be upstairs?
I think it's going to be an amazing room for wine testing. You know, you are in a Abbey 1200 years old, and we want to finish everything and then go from there. Then we decide. I mean, we are very fortunate to have it. The thing that we can do upstairs, it will be definitely used for concert. Like I was talking yesterday with Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Francesco Grollo came and visited me,
nice.
so we were looking at it, how we're going to set up to do the concert next year, right? So, yeah, it will be used for concert, opera, and different things. And
It'll be for everyone, the community to come in and do the events that they like. Roughly 1,200 people could fit upstairs outside.
And it'll be ready next year in 2018?
March 2018, this has to be all complete. March 2018, this has to be complete.
I will be finished by next year, yes. Doesn't look like it, but it will be. It will be. It will be. They are rolling out the people. It's coming. It's coming. Like here, they have the old floor, which we pull out. Now we put it back down. And some of it is more protection, so it stays around. All those plaster there, the archaeology, they want to have it, so it's going to be sealed from behind, so it doesn't come out, you know, they have little syringe, and so. You'll be hateful.
240, everything outside, not inside here.
Come, I show you. I'll show you outside. So we left the rock because in those days they left it too, right? So the floor will be this high here. So it's a good place to sit down. Yeah. And the new, we got the bathroom there because we need it, so we opened the wall there. Come this way. So I would say, we'll see if they allow me to raise this wall a little bit. I would like to raise it a bit, but if not, they probably want me to level them off, ground level, and that's it. See, here we follow the old wall. But the castle inside was much bigger than the abbey. The abbey is like 6,500 square meters. And now it's much smaller. No, now 6,500 square meters, but before it was all the way down there, much bigger than this. So you see some wall in there, and we just raised the wall. You see the line of the original, the lead that we put in, that was the original, so we went in top. And same thing here, like you can see the sign where the door was an archway there, and one here, it stops right here, right? So this one, they're going to bring it up this height. That's where the door was. And then here we're going to all level them off. Then there is where they have the water. They used to bring the water, the well. So that's going to be all, the wall around will be raised, fix it up, consolidate it, and then we level them off with grass inside. And here will be all gravel. So we have a lot of spaces after. All the little corners, right? You just basically go off the old one, right? So it's very easy to figure it out, right? For me anyway, because this one here, that's what they used to draw the water. Well, the water was filtered through those holes. And then they were using all the rainwater. And here was like a palladium all around, with the stair going up, which we are not going to do. But, and this was the original floor, it was going all around. So what we are doing now here, this one here would be a room that we use for ceremony here and there, space. And then from this point on to the building over there is all glass, covering glass to protect the archaeologists down below. And maybe in the future, if my children want to spend now 3-4 million euro, they can tackle that one. I show you. See the little room there? The other door going through there. That one was the barn for the donkeys. You can still see the swell done in stone for the manure, and all the little round rocks that they use on the floor. That was the barn. I was so when we find it, because it was all buried, I was so excited. Underneath there, we dug down 5 meters, and we have the museum. So because everything was, it seemed like they took all the doors, all the stuff, all the garbage, they put everything inside, right? Like you could see nothing here before. It was all trees overgrowing, right? So from this point here, where you look, it's all glass.
So as I was saying before, this could bring a lot of value to the territory. As I was saying before, so that's what it's something that could help out not just us as a winery, but the
from
whole,
here you can
area.
see straight down there. You see our building there with the arches. That were my equipment, my dogs, and where my vineyard started. Then is the magazine, the other white building down there. Then is the curtain tower. Then the offices. There is a mile. There's all the flat area there. That is all our land. That's Rosalia, Rolando. Then down below here, you see their vineyard, and then there is a spot, they cut all the branches of the vineyard off. That's my new cantina. It's a 10 million euro investment, and hopefully we are completed by next year. It's going to be the state of the art, and it's going to look like the hills. When you look up, you see the vineyard going over the roof and up and down, so it will not have any impact on the surrounding. Like it looks like the hill, it's natural, right? Oh. Down there is the mausoleum of San Geronimo, which we restored last year. San Geronimo was one of the most important saints on the Catholic Church because he's the one that translated the Bible from Hebrew to Latin. He was from Dalmatia, the other side of the pond, and he was here 300 after Christ. When we bought it from Gasparini Loredan, I didn't even know that it existed, because I think even the owner himself did not know it, because he was surprised when I restored it, because it was buried with trees. And I think he never walked the property. And one day when I was walking around to see all the trail, to see what I bought, I found this door on the ruins going in, and I said, oh my God, and that's why we decided to restore it right away. And then we decided to do this one. So. Let's go around this way. I want to show him the old walls of the castle on that side.
Yeah. We'll head down for the tasting. Then we'll go down for the tasting. See these are all the stone you see here? This is all underneath the hill. It's all like that.
See here some of the road burial ground, because in those days they believe more money you give to the church, and the closer they would have buried you to the altar, you would have been closer to God. see the rock wall there? It comes in angle like this. You see the cement there underneath the wall coming right underneath the abbey, and that was the turret. See, it's about 6 meters high, and you see this wall here. Also, that was part of the turret. That go back to the Roman time. So this one we will restore it. We go up 1 meter, and so people can, like this is a convention room, a meeting room after, so people can come on the courtyard here and walk around in top of the old Roman walls. See, we will leave exposed all the Roman walls. It's basically when we take over, I mean, this was such a bad ship, it's like a cadaver. I mean, it's, you need a crazy person, besides donating the profit, the money, is to have the vision, how is it going to look after we are done, all right? But after I'm done, I need a break for a while. Here is where Monsignor Giovanni della Casa wrote the Galateo, which was translated in every language of the world as the manner, how a human being should behave. Also is where Peter Arentino used to come and spend the summer, because he was a good friend of Monsignor Giovanni della Casa. Peter Arentino was painted by Michelangelo at the Sixtine Chapel, pulling off the skin of Bartolomeo. I never know if you ever see the painting there on the Sixtine Chapel. He was another nice guy. Not very nice. So which part of England you come from?